Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of MES podcast, everyone's favorite football podcast. I'm here with Buga. We're going to be diving in to two big matches. Barcelona coming away with two victories this week, one in the Copa del Rey, 5-0 over Valencia. We are on to the semifinals. We'll break down that match. We'll also talk a little bit about what's to come. Who do we want to see in the semifinals? Who do we want to see in the final? Because you know that's where we're headed. And of course, we'll be talking about Barcelona's 4-1 win over Sevilla. Good news there, but there are some talking points. Araujo goes down injured. Fermin Lopez gets a red card. We'll be breaking down all that and more in today's episode. Again, if you are just finding us, welcome to MES podcast. Make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and leave your comments below. We want to get your thoughts, get your opinions, get your questions throughout today's episode. With that out of the way,
we read the comments. Like
we do read the comments.
We may not reply to every single one. Maybe not to every single degree, and maybe we do not reply to every single comment, but we do read them.
We read them. Yes,
I
indeed.
read them whenever I get the chance, and that's probably when I'm like on like a queue for the supermarket, or where I'm like taking a shit.
That's the perfect time. That's the perfect time to catch up on comments. Yeah, absolutely. How are we feeling about this week's performances? Valencia, Sevilla, two big wins.
Two big wins, and I think the right sort of performances that we needed, particularly for, just getting ourselves to the next level, the next stage. Okay, so it's entering that stage of the season where the games matter a little bit more, where you tune into the game thinking, already knowing, okay, this is a must win. We all saw El Derby de Madrid yesterday and 1-1, and then it's like, bang, we come into this game, we need to get 3 points out of it. There's no two ways about it. We have to go all out. We have to get a win. Against Valencia, it's like last pod we were talking about Pablo, and I completely forgot about I completely forgot about that matchup during that podcast. And when he mentioned it, I was like, oh, sure. I mean, we can get through Valencia, but then when you realize it, it's like, it's quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey. You win that, you go to the semifinals. You see the teams that are on the semifinal stage, and it gets a little bit tougher. It gets to that extra level, right? It's Atletico Madrid, it's Real Madrid, it's Real Sociedad. It's three of the biggest teams in Spain. For the first time, I think they said it in the commentary. I don't know.
Early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, early 2000s. Since the last,
like 2003, 2004, it was something like that.
Yeah, so it's going to be big semifinals, right? So certainly I think that when you look back at it and you take a look at that Barcelona and Atletico Madrid made it to the top 8, that's certainly something that comes in handy, because when you take a look at Real Madrid is going to be having to play Manchester City come this Tuesday. Then they finish the return leg against Manchester City, and as soon as that return leg finishes, bang, their competition against in the semifinal opens. So it's like back-to-back huge games for everybody involved, and I think that's just what you want. And Barcelona made a great example of it with this game against Valencia, I thought, and a game against Sevilla particularly. We're going to get into the Sevilla game, but I thought that first impressions, I like it,
Yes, sir.
I like where we're headed.
Yeah, I made note in the Valencia match. I thought it was a great opportunity. Ferran, Fermin, and Eric all with the opportunity to get in the starting 11. I think Eric did a great job. Fermin did a great job, got himself on the score sheet. And then Ferran with the hat trick against his former club, Valencia. I thought that Barcelona played some of their best football. Even though we just beat Valencia, what was it, 7-1? I think we actually played better in this match in the 5-0. I think it was a very fluid, a very open Barcelona. When we have Ferran or Dani Olmo playing that kind of false 9 position, it is a different Barcelona than when we have Lewandowski there. And it's interesting to me because I think there's an argument to be made that maybe Ferran should get a little bit more time. Maybe he should get some more opportunities. But Lewandowski with 30 goals this year, so you can't really bench him. So how do you see that balance playing out? Is Ferran going to have to kind of wait until 2026, 2027 until he really gets a chance when Lewandowski goes away? Or how do you see that happening? I don't know if
he ever's going to get the chance really to become the main man. And I think that's a bit sad. But honestly, when he's had the chance, I just think Ferran Torres works so good as that 12th man. He's the 12th man. He's the player right outside the starting 11. But he's such a good player that can come in, play on the left, play for the middle, play behind the striker, play on the right, and he can occupy any of those positions, and he's always going to give 100%, and he's going to be fit, he's going to be ready. He's always going to be with that mentality, and he doesn't complain. And that's the sort of mentality that I want from a player like him. I always go back. I always like the sort of players. You always need something like that. For me, there are two stellar candidates when I look back at, substitute players. We always have one of them. And Ferran Torres, like I look back at Barcelona when we had the MSN. You look back, Pedro was always there, right? He was a substitute. Yep. He's an incredible player. He was starting, and he's definitely of a different quality than Ferran Torres. Or maybe I would say he earned himself a much higher recognition, let's say, in the sport. I think that's fair enough to say.
Well, he would kind of ebb and flow. Like sometimes he would get the starts and sometimes he wouldn't. I remember, I think it was there. I mean, he started in a few different finals. I think. Like
he started. He won the UCL in the final, right?
I'm remembering.
And
David Villa, Messi in a false nine, Pedro on the right.
Yeah.
And same thing. I'm wondering if that is the direction that Ferran needs to take. To your point, take advantage of the times that you have, come in with the right mentality, the right attitude. We're not complaining. We're not getting frustrated when we're not playing. It's making the most out of the time that you have on the pitch. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned there. Maybe Ferran Torres is that Pedro of this team.
I always said it, man. Trust the shark. Like I've always said, why is my Instagram profile a shark now? Because I trust Ferran Torres. Literally, like it's no joke, dude. Like it's no joke. Like I always This is my keyring. Do you say keychain? Look, it's a little shark.
Yeah, your keychain. That's amazing.
It's a little shark. It's Ferran
That's good.
Torres.
Let's see how many people we can get to comment a shark emoji down in the comments. I'm sure we can get a few. If you're listening, put a shark.
I just showed my shark keyring. So I feel like Ferran Torres actually does deserve that sort of recognition for being that 12th man, and how impressive it is to get hat-trick against Valencia. I think it was very good because he was all in the first half. I think he is that sort of poacher guy. I always remember that Guardiola did see something in him for those movements within the box. He's also very good at that. He does give you something extra for games like that. And I was saying, I think not too far. Remember when Sam Marsden was in the pod? I think we talked about Barcelona being a bit too stale in the way that they attacked.
Yeah.
And I think that incorporating Ferran Torres with in the position that Lewandowski plays, and when we try Dani Olmo at false nine, it gives Barcelona a little bit different outlets, right? It gives Barcelona more of a team that can be better when it comes to playing against low blocks. I think Ferran Torres is much better at that, playing against low blocks. I think that if you need to exploit your wingers, play Dani Olmo at false nine, and when you need to just play the big games where you're gonna find spaces, Lewandowski is your guy. It's like it's you have such a variety of tools, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm pretty excited about it. Aside from Ferran Torres, we had a couple players come back from injury. We got Inigo Martinez back. We got Dani Olmo back. We'll get to Araujo now being injured when we talk about the Sevilla match. But I was kind of curious, out of Dani Olmo and Inigo Martinez both returning, which one of those two players do you think is going to have a bigger impact for Barcelona in these last couple of months?
I think Inigo Martinez, when you look at Inigo Martinez right now, the way that he played in this game, it was so
he was on fire, dude.
He was on fire, bro. He wanted to earn his place back,
Yes.
100%.
Because that's where my thinking was, is that in the center back position, again, Araujo picks up another injury, but Araujo came back, Eric Garcia came back, and I think Inigo Martinez was like, no, I've been here all season. Me and Kubarsi have been rocking this center back pairing. I am not just going to give this up. So you saw him come back, gets an assist today against Sevilla. You can see the enthusiasm. You can see the commitment from him. And in terms of the attack, yes, Dani Olmo is great, but I don't think he's carrying as much of the load compared to Martinez on the defensive side. So I'm leaning towards Martinez being the difference maker as well.
Yeah, and I think that I was thinking about it. I think let's put a a bookmark on the Dani Olmo Fermin Lopez conversation. I want to talk about that, but I want to talk about first about Inigo Martinez, because people are going to be saying, like, oh, who are we going to be playing, right? Inigo Martinez or Ronald Araujo? Because Eric Garcia even has been looking good, like the man will score another goal. So it's like, and even in the I don't know, was it against Valencia when Eric Garcia played and we look much better, or was it the one after that? I don't remember. I think
Garcia
it was
played.
Valencia.
Garcia played against Valencia. Yeah, he started.
So it's like, I come into all of these questions and people want to start these debates, and like, well, Ronald Araujo is now injured, so Inigo Martinez is probably going to play as a starting center back.
Yeah, I think he's right back in it.
Yeah. So it's like, why do we need to make this discussion happen? Just go with the flow, like go be what you have with the present at the moment. And the present at the moment is that there's no Ronald Araujo, who's going to be out for like 4 weeks, apparently, or 3 weeks. Keep Inigo Martinez back in the starting 11. Right? Yeah. Inigo Martinez is going to come back. Eric Garcia, rotate with them both whenever you can. And when you have Araujo back, like, then that will be another debate, another discussion will happen. It's like just go, Evan, with the flow. Like, you don't have to what's the word? You don't have to be preoccupied about things that are not happening yet. Don't get anxious with it. And about Fermin and Dani Olmo, first of all, you have anything to say about the center backs? Because I just think that it's like there's a nonsense debate there. Like, we're perfectly good with the center backs, I think.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It is interesting. I think when you look at the depth chart, you look at really any big club's roster and you go, how are you going to keep all of these players happy? Well, the answer is pretty much what you're saying. It's a long season. You've got the domestic league, you got different cups, you've got international breaks where these players are traveling and going and playing for their countries. Inevitably, there's wear and tear, there's injuries, short and long term, and everyone kind of naturally gets their time. I think it's pretty rare for a squad like Barcelona to have everybody fit, everybody ready to go, and it becomes players getting unhappy because they're not getting time.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more rare, I think.
There's one guy though that if you play like FIFA career mode, his little face is like red, angry. Because he like wants to play more, he wants to get out, but it's like, I know you're angry, but you're literally injured, and that is Christensen. Because we have not mentioned Christensen.
I thought you were talking about Ansu Fati.
No. Because we're literally mentioning like Christensen, so we have not mentioned Christensen at all, in this debate. And it's like, in this discussion, it's like, I mean, he's probably wanting to play. He probably wants to play. I mean, has he even got called up to? No, right?
he got injured again.
Yeah. So it's like
he was back long enough to not play, and then got injured again.
Yeah.
So he hasn't. He has not played. Am I right? I don't think he's played an official match for Barca this year.
No, he has at the start of the year. I remember.
Start of the year he did?
Yeah, I have. I see. Because I've seen him in the new kit. I know it's a fact.
Like pre-season?
Maybe.
Because we could only register Olmo because Christensen got injured.
Was injured. I think he played him in the John Gamper Trophy, maybe.
Yeah. Even if it was beginning of the season, maybe he got in a Liga game or two. I feel like he didn't. Maybe somebody's going to correct us in the comments.
Someone's going to correct us in the comments.
Some statistician out there is going to let us know.
We read all the comments.
All the comments. Either way, have not seen him, have not thought about him. Yeah. But here's what's interesting. Without him playing, his stock is kind of frozen. Right, it's not going up, but it's not going down.
I think it's going down.
I don't think it is.
I think when you are injured, and you're at that age of like 27, 28, where he is, every time that passes and you're frozen, it just goes down.
But here's what I think. It's relative to how the other players are performing. So Inigo, Cubarsí, Garcia, all on the up, right? So it can make it look like Christensen's stock is going down. I don't think Araujo's stock is going up, though. I think with his buyout clause being at $65 million for the next year, his now injury-prone season, and hate to pick on him, but he did hold the player onside to give up the one goal against Sevilla today, which you're starting to notice now that he's getting some playing time. he did not read that offside trap and keep that high line nearly as tight, nearly as clean as some of the other center backs. So I think Araujo is going down a little bit. And like right now, there's an argument to be made that the depth chart is Barça, Martinez. Oh, this is where it gets tricky. I would go Christensen.
What? No. If I'm Hansi Flick and I'm in my desk, it's Cubarsí, Íñigo Martínez, Eric Garcia, Araujo, Christensen. That's how it is.
I don't know. I'm thinking of Pete Christensen coming back in. I'm thinking he's the perfect blend between Garcia and Araujo. He's has the physical presence. Mm-hmm. He's not as fast as Araujo, but he's bigger and faster than Garcia. But I think he reads the game as well as Garcia, and I think his passing is as good as Cubarsí.
Yeah. So I just don't think he has the aggression that Araujo has.
I'll give you that.
Or the aggression that Íñigo Martínez has.
I'll give you that.
That's one thing that they do have. That
it's interesting, and I think, again, we just said we don't need to have the debate. But if everybody was healthy, we're having the debate. If everybody was healthy, it is interesting for me. 3, 4, and 5. We agree on the top 2 center backs of Cubarsí and Martinez.
It's so frustrating because Araujo is such a good asset of a player. Like he would be so good for so many teams.
He has the physicality. That's the difference maker.
The speed. 1v1s, he's amazing. Like you could see him be amazing at Liverpool. You could see him be amazing at Juventus. Yeah. You could see him be amazing at so many teams.
And if he could read the game as well as Garcia, a Christensen, a Cubarsí, and Martinez, then he's unstoppable. Then he's Virgil van Dijk.
You know what we need? We need to find like our version of like Ruben Diaz. You know?
Yeah, I think it could be Araujo if he just got a little bit more on the mental side.
Yeah, he's just not as calm as Ruben
Diaz. Yes. He'll get there. He'll get there. He's going to stick around. No one's going to bite on that 65 million euro buyout this summer. Everybody's going to pass on that. Araujo's going to stick with us. El Capitan. He's going to get his head right over the summer. He's going to carry us forward all season long next year. I can feel it. I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Anyway.
So moving to the...
Big yawns. Big yawns from Buga.
Moving to the Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez debate that I bookmarked. I'm taking the bookmark out and I'm opening the book the chapter. Fermin Lopez, oh my God, he's playing so good, bro.
Playing so good, dude.
He's playing so good. He's playing better than Dani Olmo. And he now he's making me wonder that question of like, remember at the start when we're like, they're so similar players? They're still very different, similar. But they occupy the same spaces, but they do different things. Like Dani Olmo is the guy who he's still going to shoot, but instead of running to the area like a maniac and trying to be a shadow striker, he's going to play.
He's a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more nonchalant isn't the word. A little bit more suave about it. Maybe that's the right word. Dani Olmo's got a little bit more jazz to him. Yeah. Fermin's a little bit more hard edge. He's got a little Gavi to him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's just get straight to it, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Let's just get straight to it, you know? None of that mumbo jumbo, none of that foreplay. I'm just going
to Nothing cute from Fermin. Yes.
I'm just going to straight to it. Dani Olmo, he lights the candles, he dims the lights. Fermin Lopez just closed the door and turns the lights off. You turn around and he's wearing his shirt off.
That is the most accurate football analogy
ever
I've heard in a long time. Yeah, Dani Olmo's gonna. Yeah. Dani Olmo's he's gonna wine and dine you. You know what I mean? Exactly. He's gonna make it an intimate occasion, romantic, have a little flair with it. You know, some artistry. Fermin, no.
It's all about the goals, baby.
You know what's happening. It's
all about the goals.
We're getting down to business.
Getting down to business. And he got down to business today. I mean, he only needed 15 minutes to score the goal, his first touch, get a yellow card, and then get a straight red. Right?
Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. Papa Pablo right now is listening and just shaking his head like, oh my gosh, I can't let these two do a podcast on their own. This is going to be just canceled immediately.
Oh, but people love us. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Anyway, you mentioned the red card.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm just gonna say.
Because it wasn't a second yellow. It was a straight red.
It was a straight red. It was like
red.
He scored a goal with his first touch. Then he got a yellow card, and then he got a straight red.
Yes.
Amazing.
So was that a straight red?
No. No, it wasn't. I understand. I wouldn't. Yeah, no. It isn't a red. I want to play devil's advocate, but it isn't a red. Like, he touched the ball. You could say, "Oh, the grass is too fast," whatever. That's why he went too fast into it. Like, there's no way. There's half of a second there between he touched the ball, he poked it out, and he grabbed the South's leg. There is absolutely no chance for him to remove the leg. And it's not like that's part of the contact that happens. And I mean, there are so many other red cards that you should have been given before. There are so many examples. I guess you can open Twitter and find it. But what I mean is, like, that's a clear way where he actually won the ball. And then, I mean, they're just inconsistent, and that's what's actually annoying. It's not annoying that if you're gonna give a red card for this, just be consistent for the sake of it for all the rest of the other ones. And then, are you kidding me? Like, they do not show the other screen to the referees. It's like they have the screen of the other angle, and then you only show him the other angle where he doesn't touch the ball. So it's like,
yeah. And I think looking at what the referee was seeing, they really were focusing on that kind of still shot, that freeze frame where the tackle ends, where yes, his leg is up at knee height, but it's because of the follow through. It wasn't it wasn't a normal tackle. His right leg was over top, like his hips were turned, and it forced his leg up. It wasn't like he went in with a standard challenge and then lifted his leg up. He had kind of flipped his hips over, which forced his leg up a bit, and it was awkward more than anything else.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a direct hit. It was more of like his leg was open, and then he like hooked a little bit, and then hit.
Yes.
He actually there's 1 second where his leg is like this, and then when he hits with the other leg, it moves, and then it like touches.
Yes.
But then like he actually impacts with this part, not with the leg. He impacts with like the ankle and with the
exactly. He didn't go through with his studs or anything like that. It was like calf to thigh kind of connection. Yeah. But it's because his leg was up at knee height, and that's where they paused the replay, had that still frame, and that's what the referee was focused on. So I get why he called it, but I am also fully on board with it being inconsistent in terms of what's a red and what's a yellow.
Yeah, my friends in the group chat were like, oh, here we go again. Fiorentina just called halfway through the game saying like, oh, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand.
Yeah. So anyway, bummer to see, especially because Fermin has been playing so well. What else stood out to you? I know we mentioned the Araujo injury a little bit. Those sprained ankles, that can be
nasty.
Yeah.
I sprained my ankle just moving. My ankle. My ankle. I sprained my ankle when just like moving boxes around, so it can happen all the time. I was gonna say, for me, the Raphinha goal was insane,
bro.
That's
Raphinha. He is on a new level. I think he responds when there's criticism and or competition,
and whenever I expect him to stop, I'm like, when is he gonna stop?
He doesn't.
And I'm like,
bro. We're up.
Because the last game I was like, okay, he didn't score a goal, and then I was like, bro, but he got 2 assists. And then this game I was like, he's not doing much, and then bang, he scored a golazo, And it's like whenever I expect him to stop, he just keeps doing more. He keeps proving me wrong.
We're up 4-1 in the 80-something minute.
I know what you're gonna.
Raphinha clears out a corner and he celebrates like he scored a goal.
And he was offside.
Yeah, but that's the mentality.
Exactly.
Like, that is why Raphinha is who he is. So to what I was saying, competition and criticism, he got both this summer. The comparisons to Vinny Jr., getting, all the attention on his failed run to the Ballon d'Or, the Nico Williams rumors saying that Barcelona are looking to replace Raphinha. All of that just lit this fire under Raphinha that has carried him this entire season. A lot of players, I think, you see that maybe for a few matches, maybe a month or two, but Raphinha has said, no, watch what I do all season long. He's like saying, I dare you to mention the name Nico Williams this summer. I dare you.
Yeah, and when I look at Raphinha, I keep thinking like, here's a guy that for me is the perfect example of why I loved Barcelona in the first place. And one of the main reasons why I fell in love with this club is that we used to get players that were of like a certain level, and they would get amazing with the club. You know, like apart from the academy graduates, there were other players that we would buy at a certain level. Like I remember like a Mascherano, we would get it at a certain stage of his career. We would get someone like a Yaya Touré. We would get someone like even someone like a Luis Suarez, for instance. He was really good at Liverpool. I think people are gonna kill me, but I think the best Luis Suarez was the best the last season Luis Suarez had at Liverpool. Like that Suarez, like he scored some incredible. That's for a discussion for another video. But that Suarez was insane, bro.
Yeah.
But what I mean, like even that Suarez that was an incredible form, we took him from like an amazing elite striker to like the best striker in the world. You know, he consistently gave that output. He didn't reach the height, but I mean, he like leveled it up to just being constantly like amazing. You know, and I feel like that's where I feel like Barcelona. That's why I really like Barcelona when I started watching football. You know, and for me,
Ronaldinho is probably the best example of that.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, Raphinha now, when I look at it, it's like, okay, we had a player like that was at like Leeds United. You know, he came here. It was good, decent, but then like he's getting to that level where it's like think about left wingers, and it's like I'm thinking right now, it's like he's the best left winger in the world. You could say on form, people are gonna say, "Oh, Vinicius Junior," because he has done on his trajectory and whatnot. But it's like he's the best left winger, like on form, 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like. So that's ridiculous. He's competing with Mohamed Salah for the best player in the world at the moment, which is insane.
I agree.
Raphinha.
At the beginning of this season, I called out that Raphinha, by the end of his time at Barcelona, would be at Ronaldinho status. I think I will get less hate for bringing that up at this point in the year.
Yeah.
Not that I won't get any hate, but maybe a little bit of less hate.
I loved when Raphinha came in, when he was given the 11 number, and he just like worried everything. Like that's what I would do, you know, like, and that's what I feel like I just want for my players, you know, like, because he wants that. He wants to be here. He wants to be that player.
Yes.
He wants to shine at Barcelona. He wants to be the guy. And when you just find the right mentality, when you just find the right players, like you just. I hope with my dearest of heart that, I kid you not, I hope Raphinha wins the Ballon d'Or. Like that would make me.
He could.
So
I mean, Barcelona
happy.
are gonna have to win some titles for that to happen.
It would make me so happy.
Which brings me to this question: what are Barcelona's chances of winning La Liga now that it is in their control? Meaning, yes, we're in third place, but we're within 3 points of Real and Atletico, and we've got both of them on the calendar still. So if you look at it that way, La Liga is in Barcelona's hands. What are the chances that Barcelona lift that trophy this season?
Bro, if Raphinha... It just pains me because any trophy that we win this season, Ter Stegen is going to lift it, and I want somebody else to lift it.
No, I would hope that Ter Stegen
knows
when he's offered to lift the trophy, he goes, "Hey guys, thank you, but you earned this. Somebody else, please lift this trophy." Raphinha, Pedri.
No, I know, but that's what I
let Inigo Martinez lift it. I hope Inigo Martinez gets to lift one of the trophies that Barcelona wins.
Everybody gets to lift a trophy if you win, you know.
Well, yeah, but like the first lift, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I mean, lift, the one.
Okay. I think we can do an interesting segment.
Okay.
Quickly. Who do you want? But if Barcelona wins everything, who do you want Barcelona to lift La Liga?
Okay, so we've got La Liga, Copa, and Champions League, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Supercopa, because it's coming to me. The reason I say is because Ter Stegen left the Supercopa.
Yes. And I think that was the right move, right? Because he had...
Why?
Because his injury was still kind of recent, and it's like a little pick-me-up. It's what's it called?
To soften the blow like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to make him feel better, still included with the club. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's Super Copa, right?
Okay.
I want
La Liga.
La Liga. Oh, I want Raphinha to lift La Liga.
No. Wrong
Yes.
answer. Wrong answer.
You don't get to tell me no, okay? You don't get to ask me and then tell me no, that's the wrong answer. Okay? Who do you want, hotshot?
Katie, did you talk like that to your... Did you talk like that?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I haven't shared on the podcast. We, of course, have a group chat, and we were talking about some things about the podcast, and I was sending a message to Buga, and my wife, Katie, is looking over my shoulder. She's like, oh, my God, you talked to him like that? I was like, yes, I talked to Buga like this. I won't say what was said, but it was direct.
Like right now.
Yes. Anyway, so who's lifted the La Liga trophy for you, if not Raphinha?
I don't know, but for me, I'm gonna think about.
You're gonna give me all that crap.
I know
like
that
you've got the right answer. I don't know who the right answer is, but
the right
answer,
right answer is Raphinha lives in the Champions League. That's the right answer, baby. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. He gets MVP of the Champions League as well.
I would be fine with that. I'd almost let Lewandowski lift the Champions League.
Nah, Lewandowski. No, I wouldn't even say Lewandowski to lift any.
I don't know.
I think
who are you? I'm gonna change that. I'm going.
Okay, I think Champions League Raphinha. I think Copa del Rey, one of the captains. Like I think ideally I would like it to be like the captains. You know,
is
like
Frankie gonna lift one? You're gonna let Frankie lift the trophy?
Depending who's the captain on the day. You know, like if Ter Stegen is there, I would let the captain in charge lift the Copa del Rey. So if it's Ter Stegen. If not, the next captain would be Frankie de Jong. So the next captain is Frankie de Jong, right?
Yeah, we got Ter Stegen, Frankie,
then
Araujo, Raphinha, Pedri.
No. Pedri is in front of Raphinha. Oh, no.
Pedri's 3?
No, Pedri is 4.
So it's Ter Stegen, Frankie.
Number 1, then Frankie, then Araujo.
Then Pedri, then Raphinha?
I think... No, but then why does Raphinha wear the armband when Pedri's on the pitch?
Because he's the fucking man. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. No,
that's
then
why,
Raphinha...
dude.
I think it's Raphinha...
Because he goes and grabs it and says, who's going to take this from me?
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah. But La Liga, I think it's weird because would it be weird to have Pedri lift La Liga?
I was thinking that too. I was trying to think of how, like, for me, I want to see Raphinha, Pedri, and Inigo Martinez. Those 3 would warm my heart for lifting the trophies.
I think Inigo Martinez lifts La Liga.
He could, because he's never won La Liga, right?
He's never won La Liga.
I would let him lift La Liga, actually.
Yeah.
I would let him lift La Liga. I would have Raphinha lift Champions League, and I would have, I guess you have Pedri lift Copa del Rey?
Yeah, why not?
That feels fair.
Yeah, or Gavi, or someone like that. Pedri, I think.
I think you gotta go Pedri. But Pedri's so chill. He would let somebody else do it.
Yeah, he's super chill. Like he
would
like,
pass it on to, like, you know,
the cool guys like
Chesney or something like that.
We have Iñaki Peña lifting.
Yeah, or like anybody. Pedri would hand it off to whoever needs it the most at that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And when are we gonna lift it?
I don't know.
I think we should lift the World Cup 2026.
Yeah, 2026
we should lift
World Cup. USA
beats England in the final.
USA beats England for the 2026 World Cup.
Goals from
we redeclare our independence and establish ourselves as a world football power.
Goal from Pulisic to open.
Mm-hmm.
England equalized with Rogue shout equalized with Cole Palmer, and
Ooh.
then in the last dying seconds of the match, penalty, and up steps. Who's your penalty taker?
Pulisic, baby.
Okay, Pulisic is out by that time. No, Pulisic will never be out in a final.
Yeah, I was gonna say, nah, bruh. I was with you all the way up until the end.
Is Pulisic the U.S. men's national team best ever player?
Oh, it's hard to compare eras. I would say he is the most talented and most
Renowned.
Probably most renowned.
Because then,
But
who would you put on the podium? Him, Clint Dempsey, and
people forget about Brian
Landon
McBride.
Donovan. I don't know.
Yeah, but Landon Donovan.
I don't know who Landon McBride. Who that guy is.
Oh my god. Okay, well let me educate you, sweet little baby Booga.
Okay.
So
let's give it like 5 minutes, because if
not won't even take 5. Won't even take 5. So
What's the name of the guy?
Brian McBride, powerhouse center forward, would get on the end of crosses, was just a workhorse. Played a good chunk of his career for Fulham. Was one of the main guys that was really part of that core Americans in Fulham at Fulham. There was Carlos Bocanegra, there was Casey Keller.
I think
and
he
then
like,
came Clint Dempsey.
ESPN or something.
Yes, he's done some analyst work and some commentary over there. So you got to think of somebody like that, like so for field players, right? Because we've had some world-renowned goalkeepers, like Tim Howard spent pretty much his entire career playing in the Premier League for Everton. So field players, Pulisic is probably the most technically gifted and has reached the highest level for a U.S. men's national team player in terms of regular starter and now the guy for a major club in Europe. AC Milan's no joke. They've got the heritage, they've got the clout, and it's not an accident. It's not a gimmick. It's not some marketing ploy that Pulisic is there. He's earned that spot. He's overshadowing Raphael Leao.
Yeah. Like I was gonna say, like even Raphael is there, and I'm like, Pulisic is the man. He's not. Raphael.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's
not
the
man.
Raphael.
Yeah. So I could go on and on.
I would
about
actually
US,
say Tim Howard, because I think 600 appearances for his senior career.
If you're going to include
career.
keepers, you have to go to Tim Howard. Casey Keller is another one that predated Tim Howard. On my podium of like most successful club careers for U.S. men's national team.
Football in general, everything.
Everything?
Team, everything.
All right. Well, then you'd have to put Landon Donovan up there. I wasn't going to put him up there because he had so many failed attempts to get to Europe and spent most of his time in the MLS. But if you're going to include international play, then you have to have Landon Donovan. You got to put, actually, I would say Claudio Reyna, Gio Reyna's dad.
Yeah.
You got to put him in there. And you might put in, this is a wild one, but you might put in someone like a Tim Ream.
Tim Ream over Tim Howard?
Tim Howard.
I would put, mine would be Tim Howard, Landon Donovan, and either Pulisic or I don't know too much about Claudio Reyna. I would have to know more about him.
He was just ahead of his time. If there were more Americans at his level at that time, he would have gotten better chances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Like, so anyway.
I will put Pulisic because how many U.S. national team players have actually won a Champions League?
He's the one and only, I believe.
That's a lot.
So, bang.
That's a lot.
And here's what I'll say. The starting 11 plus for U.S. men's national team will all surpass the previous generations. I'm talking Pulisic. I'm talking Pepe. I'm talking Weah. I'm talking Musa. I'm talking McKennie. I'm talking Adams. I'm talking Robinson. I'm talking Serginho Dest. Come on, baby. All those guys. Center back situation, we still got to work out a little bit, but we'll figure that out.
Can you not bring somebody who's not American?
You mean has American citizenship and
Yeah.
believes in the red, white, and blue? Yes, we can.
Do you know any players that are like that?
Not off the top of my head. I don't do a good enough job of keeping track of the up and comers for the U.S. men's national team. To be honest, we've had Tim Ream and then a rotating second center back for the last like 4 or 5 years.
Tim Ream is ageless.
Yeah, and that's why like he came to mind for maybe being on the Mount Rushmore just because of his longevity and sticking with it. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the center back situations. We've got lots of strong athletic players to choose from.
Talking about Mount Rushmores, what do we have? Yeah. What else do we have to talk about in this pod? Because I think we can then talk about like in this era of Hansi Flick. What do you think make up that Mount Rushmore? What are the players for Barcelona at the moment? You know that for the Hansi Flick era so far.
Okay, Raphinha
is certainly there.
Yeah, Pedri,
Lewandowski,
Lamine.
And Lamine, I think that's easy. It was so easy.
But we need the fourth. You could say Lewandowski, but I think you could say Lewandowski. I'm trying to think. Kubarsi?
I was gonna say Kubarsi, but I think it's fifth. I think it's I think you would be crazy not to say Lewandowski. I think
it would be disrespectful.
I think it's Lewandowski, Raphinha, Lamine Yamal, and Pedri.
I like that. I'll go with that. I think it would be disrespectful because the only reason why you would leave off Lewandowski is because you expect him to be that good.
Yeah, he's the only player on that list that I expect him to be considered at that level. You know,
because if you ask me what's the Mount Rushmore of most improved players under Flick, I would change it a little bit. I would still say Raphinha. I would still say Pedri, but then I would say Balde. And either Kubarsi either Casado or Koundé.
If it's most improved, I would actually keep Lewandowski.
Really?
Yeah, because I think he has made Lewandowski like that much better than.
Has he made Lewandowski better, or has he made everybody around Lewandowski better?
Eggs or the chicken?
Yeah, which came first? Oh my goodness! All right, let's wrap on this. Who do you want to see in the? I know we're jumping way out of segment here, but who do you want to see in the semifinal of Copa del Rey? There's Atletico, there's Real, and there is Real Sociedad. Who do you want to see in the semis?
In the semifinals, Real Sociedad. Like, is it really that?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Give me Real Madrid.
Why?
Here's why.
I hate playing against Real Madrid. I like your
Here's
rivals.
Why.
Do you hate like I generally hate playing against Real Madrid. You know, like because like I just hate it. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Like that's how a rivalry is supposed to be. You're supposed to hate playing against that team because when you lose, it's like the worst feeling ever. And I don't want to ever all the game I watch it just super tense until we score and then it's like a 3 margin goal, you know. But then the first minutes, it's like I'm leading up to the game. I'm just like with my butt cheeks clenched, like it's horrible. I don't like that feeling.
It's super tense, dude.
That's
it's super tense.
Bro. I know. Like, can you imagine? That's I don't understand. I don't understand how Boca and River fans survived a Copa del Rey final. I don't know how they survived that. I would not be able to.
Idea. And it's way too tense.
Remember that in Copa Libertadores, it's home and away.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I wouldn't be able to survive a final. In a Champions League final between Barcelona, I wouldn't be able to survive that.
I would be a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
The entire time, as soon as the fixture is known,
like even on
Barcelona, Real Madrid in a Champions League final,
like even in a classic,
earlier
like
this
in
season,
the Supercopa, I was so even.
I am too, but here's the thing: the joy, though, when it goes right,
but
it makes it worth it.
The
risk and the reward, baby. Let's go. So here's why I want to see Real Madrid in the semifinal. Because they've got a packed schedule. They got to play Man City in Champions League. And like you said, this semifinal is going to be squeezed right in there.
No
am I right? Well, yeah, no defenders. They got Rudiger out right now. They're dealing with some things. And am I right?
No
the
Lucas
semifinal is 2 legs, but the final is just 1.
Oh yeah, the final's always 1.
Yeah, so I would rather see Real Madrid over 2 legs because I know that we're a better team. I'd rather see them over 2 legs than face them in the final and it's a one-off and Real Madrid does Real Madrid things.
Yeah, you're right. That's the one thing. Real Madrid over in one-off games, like
yeah,
they can just. But even then, like depends on the result of the home and away.
Yeah. Well, here's what it is for me. I feel confident beating any of those 3 teams across 2 legs. In a final, I would like to avoid Real Madrid, then Atletico Madrid, and then Sociedad is who I would like to face in a final.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
I don't see it happening though. Here's what I think. I think we're gonna get Real Madrid in the semifinal because I think the powers that be would love to have 2 legs of El Clasico, and then I think we face Atletico Madrid in the final.
I think when's the draw?
That's a good question, my man. Statistician, producers in the back, could you tell us, please, when is the Copa del Rey?
Yeah, we relegated Pablo to producer.
Draw will be held on Wednesday, February 12th. Thank you for our producers in the back. Appreciate that for the help. Wednesday, February 12th is when
February 12th. So right now.
Yeah, so 3 days from now. 3 days.
I think we would get Atletico Madrid. That's my guess. I think we'll get Atletico Madrid, and I think it's Real Madrid on the final. I think that's what it was gonna be.
Man, we'll see. Could we beat Real Madrid in 2 finals this year?
In the same year?
And then we beat them with 3 matches left in La Liga to leapfrog them and steal the trophy right out of their hands? What?
I don't know.
What?
Flick, baby.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think that does it for today, yeah?
Hansi la vista.
That's good. I like that. We'll keep that one around. All right, folks, that does it. As always, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you hanging out with us. For Pablo, who could not join us today, and Buga as well, thank you once again for sticking with us. Let us know your thoughts down below. Give us your comments. Give us your Mount Rushmore of best players under Hansi. Give us your Mount Rushmore of most improved players under Hansi. Let us know who you want to see in the Copa del Rey semifinal.
And your Mount Rushmore of a USMNT national.
yeah. For the 40% of our viewers that are in the U.S., give us your U.S. men's national team Mount Rushmore. So many Mount Rushmores. And then also don't forget to leave the shark emoji comment as well. I want to see how many people we can get to do that. All right. That's going to do it. We'll be back next week with another episode of MES Podcast. We'll see you then, folks.
Bye-bye. Take care.